Hey everybody, it's Dave Littlejohn with your question of the week, and this is an interesting one. I had a question that came in, and it is, so this is for parents with kids, right? And the question is, should I be saving for retirement or for college for my kids? And then the question was sort of a follow-on, should it be private versus parent funded? And there's a lot wrapped up in the college funding discussion, a lot more than we can really get into in this video, but there are a couple of key things that we can talk about right off the bat. First and foremost, if you have to choose one or the other, do I fund retirement or do I fund my kids' education? You fund retirement. I know that may sound a little cold with your kids, but the reality is that you can borrow for education, you can't borrow for retirement. So you fund that one first. And the other thing is that if you know some of the rules about retirement plans, particularly Roth IRAs, there can be circumstances where you may be able to access money in that account in order to help pay for college. But the thing is, when you talk about financial aid, there are several things involved in the formula of financial aid. Right? One of the elements that you have to consider is that they're going to look at your household income, they're going to look at the number of people in your house, but they're going to look at your retirement plans, and they don't consider those an asset that you're going to spend for college, right? That's a different kind of asset. So retirement plans are not counted the same way in the formula for how financial aid is determined. So that's why you want to fund those first. Now, when you get to the question of, well, should I take out loans for my education? Okay, you're going to get lots of different opinions on this one. And I'm going to try to boil it down not on a yes or no basis, but you need to do some analysis on this, because student loans are something that, once you hitch your wagon to them, they're going to stick with you until you pay them off. They are not absolved in bankruptcy. They are sticking with you until you pay them off. Right, so a student loan is a serious commitment. So you got to be careful if you're deciding that I'm going to finance a degree in the history of basket making in the medieval times or something. That's not going to have a lot of value. Then how do you expect to pay off the student loan? If you treat your education like we advise, which is this is a personal investment in your future capacity to earn, then that education that loan is sort of an activation energy to get to the next level from an income perspective. But if you're just thinking, I don't know what to do, so let me take out some student loans and go to college, not nearly as advisable, okay? Or as we like to say another way, don't do it, okay? So for the discussion, really, you can boil it down to very simple. Pay yourself first, okay? Because the other one is, if you think, oh, I'll fund my kids' college, then you better hope they really love you, because they're going to be funding your retirement plan. So one way or the other, it's going to come back. So retirement plan comes first, college funding separate, and make sure that when you're doing it, that is the college, if you're borrowing for college, make sure that it is with the intent that it's an investment that should pay off, right? You should be able to pay off your college debt. Otherwise, examine what you're doing. Now, in a future video, we'll talk about, I have a fun little trick for how you can help your kid determine a major in college, right? But that's for another video at another time. But as always, if you've got additional questions, don't hesitate to drop us an email. You've got our webpage, you've got, of course, the email, you've got all the social ways that you can reach us. You can just call, give us a phone call. Happy to hear you there. Comments below. And then also, we've got another repository of information that you may not realize. If you go to the webpage, we had a whole bunch of podcasts from our weekly radio show. So don't forget to check that out as well. So until next time, thanks for tuning in. This has been David Littlejohn with your question of the week.